Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader, excuse me, at the newly joined communities of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. Today is July 19th. And this morning I'm reading from The Voice of Knowledge by Don Miguel Ruiz with Janet Mills, a practical guide to inner peace. And I opened it up to page 166, and here's what it offers us. To live in love is to live again. It is to return to your integrity, to what you were before knowledge. When you recover your integrity, you always follow love. You live your life as an eternal romance between you. No, you live your life as an eternal romance because when you love yourself, it is easy to love everyone. You feel so good about being yourself. And when you gather with other people, it's because you want to share your happiness. You love so much that you don't need anybody's love to make you happy. But this doesn't mean that you don't accept love. Of course, you accept love. You accept good food, good wine, good music. Why not good love? It's pretty wonderful to imagine that all that we really need to do is begin with ourselves, um, to love ourselves. Then, for me to love me, then I can love you. Um, for me to be at peace with me, then I can be at peace with you. For me to honor myself, then I can honor you. It reminds me of that, I can't give something to you I don't have. Um, and so I love that, this morning Don Miguel Ruiz is inviting us to give to ourselves so that we can give to everyone. Um, I think sometimes we get lost in the idea that starting with ourself is somehow selfish, that there's something noble and honorable about, not even necessary, about self sacrifice. Um, when in reality, of one, there's, to sacrifice one is to sacrifice the whole because there's only one. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday about this idea of oneness and shifting from oneness being an adjective that describes something to understanding that one is simply it. It's not a characteristic of a thing, it is the thing. One power, one presence, one peace, one love, one joy, one life. That there is only one. And so there can't be an oppositional power in one. And so the only way that we incur a deficit is when we determine it to be so. Right? When I hold the idea of self sacrifice, then I sacrifice my experience of the whole. I'm still absolutely part of the whole. I'm an expression of the one, uniquely identified, but I no longer experience that because I've cut myself off mentally. And to cut myself off mentally is to cut myself off spiritually. And so, what we're being offered in this reading this morning is to go back to one. It's why at least my teaching, is why when we count breaths in meditation, it's not about counting the breaths, it's about remembering to go back to one when we get off track. And so again, we're being offered go back to one, correct, align here so that I can live in that correct alignment everywhere. What a beautiful message. So I'm going to read this through one more time and take us into our time of meditation. To live in love is to live again. It is to return to your integrity, to what you were before knowledge. When you recover your integrity, you always follow love. You live your life as an eternal romance because you love yourself. It is easy to love everyone else. You feel so good about being yourself. And when you gather with other people, it's because you want to share your happiness. You love so much that you don't need anybody's love to make you happy. But that doesn't mean that you don't accept love. Of course, you accept love. You accept good food, good wine, good music. Why not good love? So let's take that into our 5-minute meditation time. One love, everywhere present. Loving itself as creation. Expressing its love as all of creation, seen and unseen. This one love is the singular substance of life. Whether we call it love, life, peace, power, presence, joy, beauty, God, Buddha, Allah, Great Spirit, Elohim, the Infinite One, the Divine, makes no difference. It is all of these names and so much more. It is indefinable in human language. Because to limit it, to name it is to limit it, and it is beyond limitation. It is everywhere present. No circumference, no edge. It just is everywhere. It has always existed. It is that singular thing that was not created out of something else. It is simply self-existent. All of life being created out of it, by it, to be it, to express it, to expand its experience of itself. One. I am that in form. I am an intentional, one of a kind, never to be repeated, unique, purposeful, intentional desire of life, love, creation, to know itself as me. And what is true of me is true of all creation. And so everyone is this divine one, individualized, expressing itself uniquely, yet never separate from the whole. And so I speak my word, which is the word of the one, speaking itself into being, claiming and affirming a shift in awareness that each and every human is awakening to the truth of being, to the truth of one, to a deep understanding and experience of the human self with the divine self. That the romance begins in each individual heart. That a love story is written with the self and expanded to every expression of self. That love expresses everywhere, in every situation, as a healing presence, as the healing balm, as that activity that bridges all perceived gaps. That healing presence that shifts the chasm of differences from separation to celebration. I know that this activity already is. And so I claim that what is coming into the awareness of humanity, into the embrace and embodiment of humanity. And I celebrate that everything spoken is already present, that there is no waiting period. I celebrate that love infinite, unbounded, unconditional love beyond my wildest dreams is already fully present within me, within and as every expression of creation. So there's nowhere to look for it. There's no waiting period, but rather it waits to be recognized, fully present, fully viable, fully vibrant. I choose it now. And so I can let go, knowing it's already done, knowing it already is. I can release and get out of the way. And so I do. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.